with and what happens as far as the way we're looking at it, so you know. When we talk about elbow strikes, every elbow strike you throw is good except for one. Don't take your hand, put it straight up, and bring it in a straight down fashion. For an elbow to be legal in the unified rules, it has to have an arc to it. Okay? This is the only one that you can't do. Everything else is good. You can do the same motion, bring your hand straight up and straight down and bring it back with that arc. It would make it legal. Okay, so the only thing you can't do is straight from the sky, straight down to the ground. I used to say, hey, not 12 o'clock to 6 o'clock. And then people say, well, what if there's a clock on the ceiling? Human beings are incredible. They'll come up with anything. If you get someone in side control, you can do that same motion. It's legal. Is that clear with everybody? All right, any questions on elbows at all? All right, back of the head. It's a problem for a lot of people because it's unclear what is truly the rule with a lot of people. I want to make it clear for you. When we talk about the back of the head, it is not what a doctor would say is the back of the head. It is not the headphones. Okay, put on headphones, that's your back of the head. No, it's not. All right? I want you to think about it is from the crown, so that's that little nodule that we all have at the top of our head, and it runs straight down your spine, all the way down to your tailbone, with that 1 inch to either side is the area that is protected, along with the nape of the neck, meaning that entire neck area, because that's what the rule was truly put in place to protect. Where your head and your spine come together at that occipital joint, that's what we were trying to protect. You can hit me in the back, straight in the back of the head. I'll let you do that instead of hitting me in the face. All right, but you hit me where that junction is with the spine and the skull, it will rattle your cage, it will discombobulate you, and that's what we are trying to protect. For you, I want you to think about targeting an ear. As long as your hand is touching a part of that ear, your little finger's against it, you know you're safe. That's a good blow. If it gets to the point where you're getting past it, getting to that center line, we will tell you, watch the back of the head. Meaning that if you're going after somebody and you start blasting them with shots and you're not in control of what you're doing, we're going to call you on it. If you get someone's back and you have the opportunity to hit them with strikes, do not lose your mind. Don't start going out of control. You are responsible for every punch you throw. So target the area you want to hit and go after that area like a professional targeting that area. If your opponent turns their head as you're throwing a blow and you hit them square to the back of the head, that is not on you, that is on your opponent. But we will tell you, watch the back of the head, telling you that you want to redirect the next strike. Don't go back into the same area because then it is on you because you're targeting it. Is that clear to everybody? If you are the person who is in a bad position and you have someone and they're going after you and you turn your head and they do hit you square to the back of the head, don't look up at me, don't look up at Rob and go, that's the back of the head. We're going to look at you and say, no shit. Okay? Congratulations. I'm glad you got that right. You caused it. We cannot expect a fighter mid-punch as you turn your head to stop it. Okay? If it's illegal, we will take care of it. Is that clear to everyone? Any questions on what the back of the head is? Target the ears, touch the ear, you know you're good. Okay? When it comes to throws, any throw you do is legal as long as it has an arc to it. The only two things you really can't do, you cannot do a pile driver. Okay? If your opponent is tired and tries to do a double and it's sloppy in it, you put their head to the center, and you pick them up, put their feet either straight up or straight out, and you try to drop them on top of their head and try to make a tent spike out of them, you are probably asking us to get you out of the fight. You're going to lose. Okay? We don't want you to do something that's going to compress the vertebrae, compress the spine, and cause an injury to someone that could be permanent. If you do an Iranian lift, you get into that person and you decide, instead of wanting to shuck the leg and come into side control, I want to stand up with this person. You can stand up with the person. Go ahead. But as soon as you have control of one leg and you wrap or grab hold of that one arm on the other side, you've locked that person into your body. You've made it to where they cannot control how they land. You are in complete control of it. And if you want to sit back and drop them down, you are spiking them. You're asking us to get you out of the fight. We'll do it for you. Is that clear to everybody? As long as the person has the ability to defend themselves against something, it's going to be good. You put somebody in a submission, you put them in an arm bar, you put them in a triangle, whatever, they can elevate you and pick you up. They can bring you down any way they want. You are in control of your body. You have the ability to defend yourself. If you have an arm bar, if I have an arm bar on Rob, and he's got the strength to elevate me, I can do a lot of things to stop that elevation. I can adjust my hold, or I can let go of it completely. It's my choice. And if I want to go for the ride, that's my choice too. If it knocks me out because he drops me straight on my head, that's not illegal. That's a legal throw. And when I wake up, they'll all tell me I lost. Okay, I'll do the same for you.
John Jones, what everybody said, that was legal.
That's legal. Vitor Belfort wants to hold on to that. John Jones wants to bring him straight down on his head. That's a legal move with that submission being put on him. Is that clear to everybody? Any questions on that? We're all good. All right, when it comes to knees, if you get in a position, standing up, you can knee the body, you can knee the head. If you get put in a position where you know what, you know your opponent is trying to force you down because you know that knee strike's going to come and you want to put your hand down to the ground to make yourself a grounded fighter, you can do that. The rule has been put there for you. The rule was not put in place for you to start out the fight, getting on your haunches and dragging a hand across the mat for you to try to create a situation based upon a rule. It's not there for you. I guarantee you if you do that and your opponent goes to kick you, your hand is going to go where? It's going to come up because you're trained to do what? Defend yourself. So when we wake you up, we'll tell you that was a great job of dragging your hand and you're now out of the fight, you lost. Don't try to create that situation in that, okay? What we're looking for is if you want to ground yourself, you can do that when it's in the appropriate situations where someone is trying to do something. Don't try to set up the fight with it. Understand that a grounded opponent is what?
Anything other than the feet ground.
Anything other than the soles of their feet is on the ground. It's not 3 points of contact, people. It's not 4 points of contact. Anything more than just the soles of your feet on the ground, they're a grounded fighter. So if I have one foot on the ground and I have a hand on the ground, my other foot's up in the air with my other hand. Am I a grounded fighter? Yes. Is that clear to everybody? Okay? So if you ground yourself, you make yourself a grounded fighter, it's legal, you can do it. What we're telling you is this. Keep your hand down on the ground since you made yourself a grounded fighter for as long as you want to stay that way. And we will make sure that your opponent does not, or if they do, we'll take care of the problem if they knee you to the head or face. But once you decide to get up, get the fuck up. And I don't mean to say it any other way. If you take your hand, you bring it up, you see a knee coming, and you decide, oh, I want to try to put my hand back down, ain't going to happen. I'm not going to count it for you. And again, when that knee lands and you go out, when we wake you up, we'll say that was a bad mistake. Okay? That is not meant for you to try to take your hand and play a game. Once you decide to get up, we expect you to get up. If they take and force you back down, that's a different story. Okay? But in that situation, you're in control. Once you decide to get up, get yourself up. Is that clear to everyone? When it comes to if you go down on the ground with kicks, we are not going to sit there and ask you any questions during the fight. Okay? I know if there's one thing I can't do, I can't fight that man and talk to her at the same time because he's going to do something to me that I'm not going to remember for a while. Okay? We will make statements to you during the fight. If you go and you go down, you knock your opponent to the ground. We're not going to ask you, do you want them up? Okay? That's a mistake that can lead to you having something bad happen to you. We're not going to do that. You are in control of the position. If you want to keep that person down, then what you need to do is show us that by, I need you to stay pressed up on the person and do it as you want to do. We're not here to tell you how to fight. You want to go after them with kicks, you want to go after them with punches, it's all up to you. But if you stay pressed on them, we will give you time to work. If you are doing damage to your opponent in that position, I'll give you the whole frickin' round. Okay? If you are damaging them with kicks or punches, I'm not going to ever back you up and make them get up. If you're showing me where you want the fight to be, I'll let you fight it there. You're doing a good job. You're doing something that can bring an end to the fight. If you're not doing anything to bring an end to the fight, and you're still staying present, but you're not doing anything, eventually, we're going to come in between you. We're going to tell you stop, and we will make your opponent get up and back you off and give your opponent the chance to get up without you going after them. If you are doing well in the stand-up, You go and you knock that opponent down, and you say, I don't want to be on the ground with her. Back up away from your opponent. We will automatically come in between you and make them get up. You're in control of the position. Is that understood by everyone what we need you to do? We're not going to talk to you in that. If you take the fight to the ground, we will give you time to work. But like everything, we need you to work. Okay? Taking someone to the ground, when you're getting just beaten to stand up, this person is putting it on you, and eventually you're able to get it there, and your idea of fighting is, oh my God, thank God I'm down here now. I'm going to stay like this. And you're going to hold your hands and you're going to clamp down on them because you're now not getting hit with those big shots. I don't blame you. But we're not going to let you stay with that for very long. You're going to hear Robert and me tell you, hey, let's work. Okay, let's do something.
Let's improve.
Let's improve. Normally we're going to give you, hey, work. Show me something. And that is telling you, I need you to up what you're doing. Start to go after them. I don't care how you go after them. I don't care if you're going after them going for a position to go to a submission. I don't care if you're going after them with punches and elbows. That is up to you. But I need you to show me that you're trying to work. Being in someone's guard and clamping down on them and then eventually going body, body, head is not working. And I'm not going to let you stay there for very long. I need you to show me that you are trying to do damage that can end the fight. All right? It doesn't mean it has to be every punch, but it means you have to be showing that you are going after this person in a sustained fashion. Is that clear to everybody? Okay? Second, if you come to that point where we say work and you don't, the last thing I will tell you is improve your position. You want to stay there, improve your position. That's telling you you have 3 choices with me. Those choices are, you can stay down low and try to pass their guard and get to a better position so you can do more damage to them, or you can post up, and try to pass, or post up and start leveling punches at them. But don't post up and go 1, 2, and I'll back down. What I'm trying to do is get you to change the fight without us coming in and breaking you apart. So change the fight. If you go right back down into that same position after 2 punches, you haven't changed the fight and you're asking us to come in, we're going to come in, tell you stop, and stand you up. So clear to everyone. If you get to dominant positions start with side control. When you're in side control, there's not a whole lot of submissions that your opponent's going to be able to pull off on you. And there's not a whole lot that they want to do in punching. In fact, most of the time we're going to tell you, if someone's robbing you blind, you better get back to at least that half guard so you have a chance. You get into dominant positions. Side control, mount, you get your opponent's back, I don't care if it's back control or rear mount. We are not there to stand you up unless you make us. I can tell you that I have never stood anyone but Jeremy Horn, who fought in mount against Frank Shamrock, went to mount, and stayed there for a minute and a half without doing anything. I went back and said, did you not hear me tell you I would stand you up? I did. And what were you thinking? I'm thinking, I'm on top of Frank Shamrock and I don't want him to do anything to me. That's the only time I've ever taken anyone out of that, all right? What I need you to do, you get to those down positions, all you need to do is work. Again, I don't care if you're going for submissions, I don't care if you're going after strikes. Show me that you're doing something to try to bring the fight to an end. Doesn't mean you're successful. But as long as you're working, we're not going to take you out of those good positions that you've earned and make it an advantageous thing for one fighter over the next. Our job is to be even and fair to everybody. Is that clear? So if you have someone that's got your back, don't look at Rob and go, they're not doing anything, because Rob's going to look at you and go, neither are you. Okay? If you are in guard, you have someone in guard, and you close your guard, and you sit there with underhooks in a closed guard, what are you doing? Nothing. You're stalling my fight. You're asking us to stand you up when you're the one making it stall. I'm going to give that person time to unstall what you're trying to do. Is that clear? All right. When it comes to if you get hurt during the fight, you get hit with a punch, it hurts you. I apologize. I think that's mine. Shut that sucker. If you get hurt by the punch, an elbow, whatever, and you go down, our job is to make sure that you're able to intelligently defend yourself. I don't care how you defend yourself. I just have to see that you are trying to do the right things in taking care of someone that's coming after you to try to hurt you. If you put your hands up like this, what we're looking at is where are the punches landing. If for the most part they're landing off of your arms, your shoulder, you're doing a great job of defending yourself. You're not going to hear me say anything. You're not going to hear Rob say anything. Get yourself out of your problem. You're doing great. If they're not being blocked by your arms and they're starting to bounce off of your skull and do damage to you, and you start to show us that you are doing nothing but starting to hide from what is occurring, I guarantee you we're going to get you out of your problem. Is that clear? You put both hands on one side of your face and bring your knees up, and you go into what I call the fetal fighting position. You're showing that you become overwhelmed and you're not using your brain to get you out of the problem. As long as your brain is there, as long as you're trying, we don't care if you're successful, we care that you're trying. As long as you are trying to get yourself out of the problem, it's telling us that that's working. We're going to let you work your way out if possible. But if you're not trying, you're tapping out. I'm telling you right now, is that clear with everyone? You understand? You're just tapping out. No problem. We'll take the heat. We'll be the bad guys. But we're going to get you out of the fight. Everyone understand that? Comes to submissions, if you get caught in a submission, we will let you work your way out of any submission you get caught in. But like I know, I can get caught.